Thank you for staying for the news. And our first story. Ghana's security forces are facing resistance in an operation to flush out illegal miners from the Tano Anwia Forest Reserve in the western region. The joint task force has seized 15 excavators, but their efforts have been met with interference. Armed police confronted the team, questioning the raid's legitimacy, while Western North Regional Minister Wilbert Petty-Brentum ordered a halt to removing seized equipment, citing a lack of prior notice. The operation was briefly halted after an alleged military directive, later refuted, allowing the team to resume work. Now, the crackdown enters day 4 as illegal miners attempt to reclaim equipment. Environmental journalist and Joy News editor Erastus Asaridonko narrates the situation.
There was a banter between the deputy forest manager and the team, who would not allow them to seize the 25 excavators. So there were other confrontations. The district and divisional police commanders sent men in there ostensibly to arrest the team because they claim they are not aware of their operation. And it baffles my mind how the police suddenly got interested in illegal miners who are being chased out of the forest, when indeed it was within their jurisdiction to do so, and they have not done so. Subsequently, the Western North Regional Minister drove into the forest himself. He also asking the soldiers to stop tracking the equipment to the nearest assembly because he claims he was not notified. It was after we stepped in. And yes, the Regional Minister, Mr. Brentum, went in there and asked them to stop tracking the equipment to the nearest. So I sent him a message. In fact, I called him. He could not pick. I sent him a message asking why he wants them to stop. These are illegal miners. These are nature criminals who have invaded the forest for months.
Now, still on this, the acting chief executive of the Environmental Protection Authority has condemned the actions of the Western North Regional Minister, Wilbert Petty-Brentum, ordering a halt to remove the seized equipment.
It's pathetic to hear stories like this, especially now after we have talked severally, after we have made several attempts to stop illegal activities in the forest. And more pathetic knowing that we have a minister or regional minister stopping the operations of the Forestry Commission. I've moved to Ashanti region for several operations, moved to Central region for several operations, without informing the regional ministers there. We all have our mandates as institutions. So if it was indeed the Forestry Commission in the forest who were stopping the illegal mining activities, then it's completely wrong for a regional minister to come in with police to stop them from doing their work.
Staying on the matter of illegality, illegal fishing continues to threaten Ghana's fish stocks and livelihoods with destructive practices like light fishing, dynamite use, and the emerging Mali method on the Volta Lake. In response, the Fisheries Commission and local stakeholders met in Keta to discuss enforcement measures. Ivy Setoji has more on that.
Illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing is taking a toll on Ghana's marine and inland waters. Fisher folks say dwindling catches are forcing some into destructive practices, further endangering fish population. At a stakeholders meeting held at the Keta Municipal Assembly, representatives from the Fisheries Commission, Marine Police, local authorities and fisher folks deliberated on the way forward. Benjamin Campio from the Fisheries Commission says enforcement remains a challenge, but they are working with the Marine Police to strengthen oversight.
Yeah, so when it comes to the enforcement, the Commission has a working arrangement with what we call the Fisheries Enforcement Unit, FEU. Now the FEU is made up of the Navy and some fisheries officers and others. But government has also established Marine Police. So we are working with the Marine Police. At least those ones can easily be deployed to the various police stations, especially the coastal communities. If for every police station you have 1 or 2 marine police assigned to them, then when we bring some of these cases, they know what the law says and they can prosecute properly. The regular police who don't know the law, sometimes when you bring them, they are wondering what is wrong with this and what should we do. But the marine police are trained, they know the law, and therefore we just need to get more of them along the coastal districts and their associated police stations. We are working on that this year. We were using the FEU, the Fisheries Enforcement Unit, Navy. That one is more expensive, how to set up naval bases along the coast. That's more expensive. So we'd rather look at the cheaper options like the marine police and even our regular police. If we give them more training, they should be able to do that.
The meeting followed a petition from the Concerned Fishers Association urging authorities to clamp down on illegal fishing. Fisher folk leaders, particularly women in the industry, like Ruby Adipo, expressed concerns over the health and economic impacts.
And we are pleading to our fisher folks, especially the fishermen, those who use the IUU should stop using them because it's affecting our health. When they use those IUU gears or methods to go and catch fish, it's something which is not good for our health. So we are pleading to our fishermen to do what is right. They should do the right thing. And now we heard that the representative of minister told us that now they are going to take action about all those gears are not good to use. So we are pleading to our fishermen that what is right, they should do the right thing.
Authorities reassured fisher folks that stricter enforcement will begin.
Now, the Dean of the School of Graduate Studies at the Cape Coast Technical University, Professor Kwamina Bafweje, has called on the government to establish a dedicated research fund for institutions to conduct impactful research. He noted that research funding in Ghana remained low, with institutions receiving little support from the GET Fund for over 15 years. Speaking at the first postgraduate conference of the Cape Coast Technical University, he cited Nigeria's Tertiary Education Fund as an example of a structured initiative that supports research in higher education. Abigail Nkrumah has more in this report.
The first postgraduate research conference organized by the Cape Coast Technical University School of Graduate Studies and Research was on the theme Impacts of Applied Research on National Development. Speaking in an interview, the Dean of the CCTU School of Graduate Studies and Research, Surveyor Professor Afenyo Bafweje, mentioned that Ghana's GDP against funds allocated for research purposes is 0.38%, a low number as compared to those of other African countries.
What we have also observed that in Ghana, research funding is very low, and we are calling on the government to make sure that we have a research fund that will be dedicated for research institutions, for them to carry out this research effectively, and that will be more impactful. When you go to Nigeria like this, they have a fund called the TED Fund, which is tertiary fund that support tertiary education in research as well. Unlike ours, where we have the GET Fund, where every sector of the educational ladder feed on that, you might not get more support from the university. For more than 15 years now, we have not been getting the support from GET Fund.
One of the speakers at the conference, a lecturer from the University of Cape Coast, Professor Peter Obeng, advised graduate students to focus more on skills development.
We come to school all right, but after you have earned the certificate, what do you have to show? You are a postgraduate student, you've graduated, you should be able to undertake scientific inquiry, you should be able to, communicate through scientific writing or even technical reporting. Most of them are in applied sciences, engineering and other places. We would want to see that beyond your education, beyond your master's degree, you really can undertake some task in the field that somebody who hasn't had his master's can do.
The president of the University of Cape Coast Graduate Students Association, Robert Epeng Nanko, reiterated the need for the government, industry players, and academic institutions to drive research and dedicate funding for postgraduate research, especially in technical institutions.
Despite these efforts, what we, the postgraduate students, are thinking is that the industry, government, and our institutions at whole should make some concerted efforts to drive research and pay more attention to postgraduate research, especially the announcement from the government of Ghana to set up a national research fund. This is a great initiative, which we are thinking that government should dedicate more effort and funding to technical research. You know, the most institutions that drive research changes and innovation are our technical institutions. So the National Research Fund should go more into the technical education where they can conduct applied research, innovative research that will drive the growth of this economy.
From CCTU, Abigail Lissel Nkrumah reports for Joy News.
Now, the Catholic Relief Services has launched the Agricultural Growth and Improvement for Livelihood Enhancement project in Tamale to boost crop yields and enhance household incomes for smallholder farming families. Here's a report.
The Agile project seeks to address food insecurity, climate resilience, and environmental conservation in the northern region. The project is currently being implemented in 6 communities across the Saviligu municipality and the Kumbongo district. The objective of the project is to increase crop yield and household income through sustainable agricultural practice, enhance integrated water resource management, improve financial inclusion, and market access for smallholder farmers. Speaking to the media after the launch, the program's director for agriculture and livelihood at the CRS, Edward Anaba Kuyela, said the project is targeting 3,300 direct project beneficiaries and over 31,000 indirect project participants.
The essence is to ensure that farmers are given the right, training to be able to produce economically. And we know what has happened in our space in terms of climate change. So farmers will be taught climate smart agriculture practices so that they are able to produce and able to make some profit. One thing we are also looking at under the project has to do with the aspect of markets. We know what happens when production is done and there are no access to markets. So this project is going to ensure that we have what we would usually term marketing at farm gate, where we will ensure that farmers are able to sell at very good prices even in their communities. We 3,125 direct farmers and over 31,000 farmers.
The Deputy Director of Operations at the Royal Norwegian Embassy, Vivian Hilda Opsvik, said the Norwegian government is partnering CRS to improve livelihood in these areas.
Program because this is much in line with our priorities on food security and climate resilience. Ghana is a partner country for Norway on food security. We launched a strategy in November 22, where also then Ghana was chosen as a partner country for helping when it comes to food security and climate resilience. With this, we also got some funding, and we looked for good partners. And Catholic Relief Services is one of them, and we has assessed this project and found it is very much in line with both Norwegian priorities, but not least Ghanaian priorities. So we look forward to see the results, which is very much on the smallholder farmers.
The Northern Regional Minister, Ali Adolf John, said the Regional Coordinating Council is poised to protect the region's water bodies from sand winning. He thanks CRS for the project.
Minutes of sand winning around our rivers is a matter of concern. The various district assemblies that these rivers run to ensure that they protect the river bodies for us.
And so, apart from the district assembly itself, talking of the district chief executive, we will use the various assembly members.
Leads us into business up next. Thank you for staying. Now, senior finance lecturer at the University of Ghana Business School, Dr. Benjamin Amwa, welcomes plans by the Bank of Ghana to introduce a 273-day instrument, saying it will help mop up excess liquidity in the market. According to him, this will open up the market more to investors and also help tame inflation. He spoke to Joy Business.
It is good news for the market. If you're an investor, what it means is that the central bank is adding another instrument that will increase the depth of the market. It will help in liquidity management. It will help in matching or dealing with the mismatch that may be existing between the assets and liability for the liquidity managers. It will also create an opportunity for investors who want to invest to take advantage of this 273-day instrument. We should not forget, if you look at the recent T-bill subscription uptake, the Ministry of Finance have been experiencing some under-subscription. The question we need to be asking ourselves is, this under-subscription, where are the funds going? The investable funds. One would have expected over-subscription, but this time around, the interest is no longer in the treasury instrument. Maybe it is because the rates have been slashed. So there must be another strategy to tap into the excess funds that are no longer coming into the treasury bill funds because of the rate reduction for Ministry of Finance. So I am thinking that the central bank is introducing this instrument as a way of mopping up that excess liquidity that would traditionally has flown into the treasury bill market.
In our second story, the Accra Technical University is strengthening its hands-on training approach through a collaboration with Casona to equip students with practical skills in diagnostic imaging. Head of the Medical Laboratory Technology Department, Dr. Henry Hackman, highlighted the partnership's focus on training students and specialists in the use and maintenance of state-of-the-art imaging equipment. Rosella Calistego has more in this report.
We observe that they do deal in equipment, they do deal in diagnostic imaging equipment, and so we saw that we could have a good collaboration and partnership with them so that we can train our students on this current and modern imaging equipment. As an institution, we prioritized hands-on training, and also we make our students go on what we call intra and inter-clinical attachment.
Well, it's a wrap for our business update. Stay with us because up next we serve you the news review. Those joining us, Dr. Ikuya Mwako, she's with the MPP's Communications Directorate. We also have Mohammed Bataglia, Member of Parliament for Sisala East. Both of them join us right here for the conversation. We'll be right back.